Hi, we're looking at the scale up one string, and we're going to just take this first string, we call this the first string, the one over here, the high E string, and the first dot in the corner here, finger behind the fret. Let me say something about that. You want to put your finger right behind the fret, not sort of in the middle somewhere, because if you have it in the middle and you let go, I don't know if you can hear that. There's a buzz as I let go. But if I'm right behind the fret, it's not a matter of clenching real hard. It's a matter of just being right behind the fret to get that sound that you can release without a buzz. So this first note, it happens to be F, but we don't even care about that right now. The shape of a major scale is whole steps and half steps. It's two whole steps, which are each whole step is 2 frets. And then a half step, and then whole step, whole step, whole step, half step. So, 2 whole steps and a half step, 3 whole steps, and then a half step. So, 2 steps and a half, 3 whole steps and a half. Half steps are between 3 and 4, and 7 and 8 in the scale, 7 and 1. 1, 2, 3, 3, 4 is a half step. 5, 6, 7, 8. So how are we going to remember that? Let's do this. The frets are 1, 3, 5, and you can do this with one finger. 1, 3, 5. Then it's a half step, so it switches to even numbers. 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. 1, 3, I bet we can all count by 2s on odd numbers or even numbers. 1, 3, 5, 6, 8, 10, 12. Say it. 1, 3, 5, 6, 8, 10, 12. Say it backwards. 12, 10, 8, 6, 5, 3, 1. Yeah. 1, 3, 5. Now if we started on 2, of course, then it would be 3 even numbers and then 7, 9, 11. Oh, let's not get confused. 1, 3, 5, 6, 8, 10, 12. And I'm going to use that for a little while. Then we're going to be able to forget all about this. Just talking about fret numbers. 1, 3, 5, 6, 8, 10, 12, and 13 plays a scale. You can mess around with that for a bit. The major scale is kind of our building block, but this is also the natural minor scale. And starting here on the 6 of the scale, if I can play it in a different place, that's a minor scale. It's the D minor scale, relative minor to F major. So 1, 3, 5, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. It's F major and D minor. And it's a few other things if we talk about modes starting on a different step of the scale. But that's enough for now. This is the building block for just so much stuff in typical popular music, folk music, anything. This major scale. So if there were several of us right here, right now, playing, I'd say just pick a note. 1, 3, 5, 6, 8, 10, 12. Pick 13. Pick one of those notes. And if you're really smart and you thought, well, it was only a half step between this, you could use the open string too. So if 2, 3 of us play a note along with me, just pick one. 1, 3, 5, 6, 8, 10, 12. Pick one and play it. Maybe it was dissonant. If you played this and I played that, we would have gotten, that's okay, it's cool. How about if I played this and you played that? But we might hit a chord. If 3 of us played, we might hit something dissonant, but we might hit an interesting chord. And all of it is in the key of F major. So it's not using those other ones in between, 2 and 4 and 7, that were notes that aren't in the scale. These notes are all pretty safe notes. Now we learn in music theory, this one doesn't go with that one and so on, but all of these are pretty safe. In contemporary music, in jazz, we hear all these notes together sometimes. Almost all the notes of the scale can sound together and sound pretty nice. So 1, 3, 5, 6, 8, 10, 12. I'm going to write that here. 1 and 3 and 5 and 6, half step, 8, 10, 12. And let me repeat, a whole step, what we call a whole step in music, is 2 frets on the guitar. That would be where, if there's a piano right behind me, where black keys are between white keys. That's a whole step, two half steps. All right, so we've got 1, 3, 5, 6, 8, 10, 12, 13. Now, let's look at that again. You can put your fingers on it any number of different ways. You could play this. I can play it all with 1 finger. Or I might know I could put my 4 fingers down on 4 frets, and then I leave this finger out for spacing, and I just have 1 and 3. Now I might move up and go 1, 2, 4, 1, 3, 4. And that's one way to finger it. I could also have gone 1, 2, 3 with a stretch like that, and you could do it any number of different ways. Maybe just 2 notes together. And you know, there are a number of 1 or 2 string instruments where people, you know, play around on 1 string, and you can run around pretty fast on 1 string. Not that we're going to do that a whole lot on the guitar, but you do have that possibility. I'd say experiment around and see if you can find a melody in this do, re, mi, fa, sol, la, ti, do, if you know those Italian syllables. Do a deer. So you might just see if you can invent a melody in there. It's all going to be 1, 3, 5, 6, 8, 10, 12. Those are the right notes to hit for the major scale. The other ones in between, you know, or, oops, not quite. So, and if you hit one of these, and you can just kind of go like that, and you're never more than half step away from the right one. So you might just experiment around putting your fingers on there. We put 4 fingers down to play 2 or 3 notes, usually. Now, this is called a chromatic scale if I play the half steps. But we put our fingers down on all the half steps and then leave out the ones for spacing that we don't need. Like here, I don't need that finger. So, and I try to slide from one position to another without taking my fingers completely off. I just lighten up and slide along. So I don't go, like, you know, let go completely. I just want to try to practice that, making these as long as possible. And I can wiggle back and forth on these too. Not the same as a violin, but I'm pulling the string a little bit behind the fret, and it'll give it a little warmth, a little vibrato. These notes will last for quite a long time. This is a beautiful note. I don't have to do a whole lot, you know.